Well, I guess we can say now that we can put to rest the fact that Sy'Veon Wilkerson, former Jackson State Tigers running back, has moved on to Colorado University. After seeing the video last week of him walking past the computer screen while one of the other athletes was sitting in the cafeteria eating, eating lunch or whatever have you, saw Sy'Veon walk past the screen. And you know what? I got to give this young man his flowers, and I'm going to tell you why right after this. You know, it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap in the friend or two and tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing and get straight to it. I know y'all like, Coach, what in the world more can you say about this young man? He's gone ahead. He's moved on to Colorado University. There's nothing more that you can really say to us that we haven't seen already. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. This young man was the first to give Coach the opportunity to do a live show interview with him while he was at Delaware State University. In the conversations that we had, it took me back to, seeing the different moves that he's made as far as with his collegiate career, getting himself in position of where it is that he's looking to go. This young man, I got to say this young man has a plan. And you've heard me say over and over again about how athletes that jump into these transfer portals, they need to have a plan. Now, I know you like, but wait a minute, Coach, he's putting out crazy tweets about, coaches not picking him up and look at the stats and look at this and look at that. And respectfully, I understand that. But this is the thing. Any of us as adults, we've lived through a lot of different things that a lot of these young men are going to see from playing collegiate sports. I mean, many of us out there have played collegiate sports and understand the grit, the grind, and the chaos that goes on with everything. And sometimes you have to stand back and just let everyone move to the beat of their own drum. And I got to give this young man, the reason why I say I got to give him his flowers, because the conversation that we had prior to doing the live stream interview, this young man has a belief within himself of where he can get to, what it is he's looking to achieve. And thus far, going back in my mind to the conversations that we've had, if you haven't seen the previous, if you have not seen that live interview that I did with that young man, definitely go back and check that out. But the thing is, this young man, everything that he stated that he was looking to do, he has checked them boxes. I mean, he's checked the boxes. One thing for certain was he's looking to be the leading rusher over at Delaware State. He did that. The young man got to the transfer portal. He's looking to get somewhere where there's a better foundation for him when it came down to him playing a running back position. Because if you look at what he was doing over there at Delaware State, I mean, this young man was a workhorse. And when I say this young man was finding ways to get yards out there on the field, when there was no hole for him to run through, this young man, it was like he was running through a brick wall to get to where he was trying to go through. So the belief in himself to say, hey, it's 3rd and 2, I got to run through this wall to get at least 3 yards, at least 2.5 yards so we can move them chains to keep that clock going. Guess what? He's going to do exactly that. And I say that because watching this young man out there on the field, he plays and walks with the purpose in which he's looking to achieve all goals and the dreams that he has set for himself. He's looking to obtain all of that. Remember, guys, many of us that play this sport of football or just play sports in general, we all dream dreams. When we was yay high playing, we dream dreams. And these young men, they're still dreaming those dreams that they can get to wherever it is that they got, wherever it is that they're looking to go. And in this instance, there was another thing that he stated that he would love to play for Deion Sanders, in which another video that I put out there in which we were talking about, I talked about how this young man was hoping to get picked up by Jackson State. In which one of the questions I asked him during the interview, the live stream interview that I did with him, who was one of his favorite running backs. He compared his playing style to Barry Sanders, Walter Payton. I think he might have said Jim Brown. I could be wrong. But looking at what those 3 men were able to accomplish out there on the field and how this young man plays, and just looking at how he's moving, you see a little bit of each one of those men in him. And I say that to say that this young man is trying to make sure that he solidifies himself to get to where he's trying to go. And while he was at Delaware State, like I stated before, this young man carried the ball 229 times. He averaged 3.9 yards per carry. He rushed for 848 yards, and he had 8 touchdowns. He came to Jackson State. He came to Jackson State by way of West Virginia, in which he didn't stay there long. He ended up going back into the portal, and he ended up getting to Jackson State, in which he rushed the ball last season 227 times for 1,152 yards, averaging 5.1 yards per carry and 9 touchdowns. Now, this is the thing that really got me with this young man. Yeah, I know a lot of folks said, but coach, he had the carpet rolled out to him where he'd have been that guy coming out there running the ball for Jackson State this upcoming season. You're absolutely correct. He would have been the starter. It'd have been his job to do whatever it is that he wanted to do. But one thing you hear coach say over and over again, this is a business. And when it comes down to business, a lot of these young men, they're going to do things that, us folk feel that they shouldn't do. And in this instance, me personally, because of the conversations that I've had with this young man off the air, behind the scenes, as far as what's going on, now, as far as everything, the latest move that he was looking to make, I would send him a message here and there, and, I would get a response, and then again, I wouldn't get a response, but I always let the young man know, whatever it is that you're looking to do, I'm going to support you, because of the fact that, I get it. Everybody's trying to find a way to move how they need to move to make sure they position their families later on down the line, in which I got an interview that's coming up, and you're going to hear this young man speak on this. I mean, he's going to hit it directly when he breaks it down for you to get an understanding of how, the mindset of some of these young men that are looking to make sure that they put themselves in a position to get there. Not saying he couldn't have got there at Jackson State. I'm not saying that at all, because we've seen too many athletes come through those walls of those HBCU walls, and they get to, they get to cross that finish line to get to where they're trying to go. But it goes back to something that I said before. When these young men and young women, they're looking to hear their names called during that time when the NFL draft or the WNBA or the NBA draft is going on. That's something that they've set for themselves, that a goal that they've set for themselves that they're looking to obtain. So I'm not here to tell nobody, hey, look, you can't go after that goal. That goal ain't possible. No, I'm going to tell you to shoot for the stars, because if I didn't tell you that, then I'll be the biggest hypocrite on the planet to go back and say, hey, man, it's all about positivity. Let's make sure we move these young men and young women in the manner in which we need to. But like I stated before, another piece of the conversation that, he and I had, prior to him coming to Jackson State, him playing for Deion Sanders was something that he wanted to do. I mean, that was, like I said, he liked everything about Deion Sanders, head coach Deion Sanders, which there was a lot of athletes that came to Jackson State for that very reason. They wanted to play for Deion Sanders. Some of them, they went with him. Some of them, they did not go with him. And right now, this young man has the opportunity, he got the opportunity to transfer to Colorado University, in which he's going to continue on playing. He will be a redshirt junior at Colorado University. So we're definitely going to see how that's going to work out. Not to mention, he's going to be in a running back room that's going to be stacked. I mean, they got a young man that's coming in, that bad boy from the University of Houston, in which his name is Austin McCaskill. And then you have the Kentucky transfer of Cavassier Smoke. Now, there's 2 other running backs that's still there with Colorado, where they're not still there, but they're in the transfer portal trying to find a new home for them to go play, for them to continue their collegiate football career, in which you got Victor Venn and Jalen Stacks. So we're going to see how that turns out for them. Watching this young man grow over the past 2 years, looking at the direction that he's looking to take himself as far as his collegiate sports career, hey, I wish this young man nothing but the best of luck. Watching this young man grow over the past 2 years, you got to give this man his flowers, especially with him being able to get out there and compete on a high level in which he did last season. Remember, he wasn't the starting running back for Jackson State. He got out there and, he grinded out, showed everybody that he can get out there and make some things happen, as far as him being durable enough and him being a able body to get out there and run that rock when they need him to. So salute to you, young man, on you moving on, going to Colorado University. And like I said before, just get out there and make it happen. But guys, coach going to go ahead and get on up out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.